Well, no, I mean at 7-3, we're making the playoffs.
Oh, we're making the playoffs.
Rams are making the playoffs.
No, they're not.
Rams are making the playoffs.
Dave, come on.
It's the Rams.
No, it's going to be Rams Patriots in the Super Bowl, and we're going to avenge that loss.
Sure you are.
That's what we're going to do.
Sure you are.
I'm going to say Rams Steelers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Coming to pre-tape from the LA Mission College Studios in Los Angeles, California. This is the Best Coast Show. I'm your host, Albert Aguilera. That's my producer, Curtis Sage. Curtis, I have noticed that you have shaved multiple times during No Shave November.
Yeah, we're almost done with November. I didn't do it. I have done it in the past.
You're not supposed. It's called No Shave November, meaning you don't shave in November.
I've
been doing this right here since August.
Well, I would not have a I would look like somebody in ISIS if I didn't shave. Like if I grow the beard, I'm getting stopped at every airport.
But just imagine how much awareness you're bringing to men's prostate.
I'm at the age where I need to have some prostate situation. Like I'm doing that. So you're supporting me, actually.
I'm actually supporting your prostate at the
You
moment.
are.
You
Right
are
now,
not.
no.
Breaking news, Curtis Stage does not believe in men's health.
I do. I just don't.
You care, you just don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's terrible.
All right. So, Albert, we have a potpourri show today.
Because it's Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving week, so we're going to cover a lot of topics. Fans, we're going to talk Rams, Kings, and Lakers today. So, Rams are 7-3, first in the NFC West, which is awesome. We have a top 5 defense. Ram it. Top 5 defense. Do people say ram it at the stadium?
Ram it.
Do they say that?
I don't know. I haven't been to a Rams game in Los Angeles yet.
We have to go to a game.
We have to.
Why haven't we been to a game yet?
Because every time I hit you up to go to a game, you're like, oh, I have a family.
No, that's for the Kings.
I have family. Oh, I have
I
kids.
can do a Sunday afternoon Rams game.
Let me know.
Okay, so
I'm trying to take my dad, and my dad's just like, yeah, that traffic, nah.
Wasn't your dad a Rams fan growing up?
Well, yeah, but it's like in the last 25 years the Rams haven't been here, my dad was just kind of like, eh.
Okay.
In my family, I'm the only fanatic. My family watches sports, but I'm the only fanatic.
Yes. They'll be back on the bandwagon.
He doesn't want to deal. You know what? I don't want to deal with the traffic either, but I'll go to a Rams game.
Yeah, you do. We're top 5 in the league in defense, top 2 in offense, which is incredible. And our attendance is up. We'll talk about that. Kings are also in first place, 12, 7-2, 26 points. We're first in the Pacific and third in the West. And, of course, Kopitar and Brown are back in a big way. And the Kings are scoring. This is like crazy that they're actually scoring a lot of goals. We're not really used to that.
I was like, who are these people?
I know. So the offense has completely changed under our new coach. And then we're going to talk, last but not least, or maybe least, because they're not in first place, is, of course, the Lakers, who are 7-10, which isn't bad, 10th in the West, which...
It's not bad by current modern Lakers standards. Yes. Historically, atrocious by Lakers standards.
We are, but in the Clippers right now.
Recent memory, actually pretty good.
Yeah. Recent memory, this is a fantastic team. Past memory, this team's horrible. All right, so let's get started.
Guys, welcome to this potpourri episode for Thanksgiving week. It's actually loaded with a bunch of stuff, so it keeps you entertained the entire time your family's asking you why you're not married or have kids yet. But it's true.
Is that what happens with you?
That's what happens. Why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids?
And what answers do you give the family on that one? Do you even talk?
I just do that.
Do you just start?
I just go.
Do you just like put turkey in your mouth and mashed potatoes?
I'm not a turkey person. I like ham.
Okay. Do you just jam ham in your mouth?
Ham and
potatoes?
Ham and tamales.
And then. Does your mom make a good Mexican dish too for Thanksgiving?
Tamales.
Tamales. Oh,
yeah.
You said that. I didn't hear that.
All sorts of you obviously you have your traditional Thanksgiving things.
Sure.
Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But being Mexican, it's like, all right, bring on the pozole, bring on the.
Yeah, we make pozole too.
Empanadas, bring on the tamales. Wait, what? You make pozole at your house?
My wife does. Yeah.
She makes white people.
No, she's
pozole?
Irish. She's Irish.
What is an Irish pozole?
It's not.
It's like pozole, but with a lot of alcohol in it.
Well, that's on the side. I do drink a lot of alcohol, but...
So the broth isn't broth, it's like whiskey.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's crazy. Anyways, guys, but the Kings are back, specifically Kopitar and Brown looking like circa 2014, and I think a lot of it has to do with the culture change, because our defense is still top 5 in the league, like it always is.
Yeah.
And our new coach, Stevens, when he took over, he said, listen, we are top 5 defense, top 5 Corsi, top 5 possession team, but we have to start rewarding ourselves. And by that, he meant scoring. And now we're actually scoring. And you know what?
How has this scoring change happened? Are they drawn up plays?
Thing. I'm not ever going to fault Daryl Sutter for his style of play, because they got us 2 cups in 3 years. But it grew really old on the players themselves. They got resentful, and ultimately he ended up getting fired. Now, with Stevens at the helm, the defense is still there.
Yeah.
But he's now saying, oh, hey, Brown, I trust you to do this. Hey, young guys. Hey, Kempe. Hey, Iafolo. I trust you to do this. So now you have a culture change where everyone's happy and everyone's going out there and playing for each other and playing to play. And they like their coach again. So now these guys are not only playing the best defense in the league, they're top 5 in scoring. Yeah. And you're kind of like, what?
Which we haven't been top 5 in scoring in a long time.
Ever? I mean,
we've never talked about scoring in any of our podcasts.
Lack of scoring.
Lack of scoring we've talked about. And power play, they're number 1 in the kill.
But 19 in the actual power play, which it's still better than being like 28th like we normally
were last
are.
Year, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, we're just slowly progressing. And if Jeff Carter were on the team right now, as opposed to chilling at home with like his leg half cut off, I think we would be doing a little bit better. But I think it's giving Kempe a really strong opportunity to show what he's doing. Same with Iafolo. That's why we got rid of Camilleri, because Camilleri wasn't getting any minutes.
Yeah.
And it's great that these young guys are producing.
Who'd we get for Camilleri?
Oh, some guy whose name I can't even pronounce.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't pronounce it either when I looked at it. I was like, what the hell?
We're terrible at these things.
Yeah, I know. Okay. What's the reason? I mean, Kopitar and Brown have a renewed energy. Like when last few games aside, I mean, the Carolina game, great. We've been struggling a little bit, but before that, I mean, these guys were gangbusters. And then I feel like that maybe when Carter went down, we went through this little bit of a we got a little slower.
Because we had to shuffle the lines.
Shuffle the lines.
Ultimately, now that 70s
feels like they're on their heels
centered by Kempe.
Okay. Feels like they're on their heels a little bit. Like I don't feel they're not as aggressive as they were in the first 2 weeks of the season.
We have noticed that because now going into games, they're suddenly down 1-0, 2-0 early. I mean, but again, this team is hustling and this team is not giving up, and they may lose, right? Like they went to Vegas.
That's a back-to-back.
They were down 3-0 like 10 minutes into the game. They come back, they lose 4-2, but this team battled the entire way through. And Jonathan Quick has been fantastic this year. Yeah. He just had like a mental brain lapse. I mean,
the first 2 goals were like, what the hell? Right. I didn't even know what to want. And the first goal was in the first minute.
He's not going to be perfect every night, but like we're accustomed to. But listen, he's still here. He's healthy. He's angry, and that's the Jonathan Quick that we want.
He did get pulled. Did he get pulled because he was kind of tired? Or
I think he just got pulled because he gave up 3 goals in 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm not worried about Quick yet, and I like that we have a good backup goaltender because we need to keep Quick fresh for the end of the season. Right now, it doesn't even matter until February for him. We need him.
Yeah, February, March is when you're going to turn it up. And it just so happens that because that time of year is like award season at Staples Center, we're usually almost always, including the Lakers, the Clippers, the Sparks,
on the road.
Anyone that's at Staples is on the road.
Yeah.
So trying to keep him healthy going into that massive road trip is always great for us.
Yeah. What do you see in Kempe? I mean, here he's gonna go through a little bit of a slump period, right? We might be seeing that right now a little bit, but I mean, he brings an energy out there that they haven't had for a while because of his speed. That was one of the things the Kings lacked.
I mean, he's plus 12.
Yeah, that's huge.
He leads the team at plus 12. I mean, defensively, he's not Jeff Carter, right?
No.
I mean, he's a I don't want to say true rookie, but it's his first full season with the team, and he's really fast. He has great puck handling. Sometimes it bothers me how well he handles the puck.
Why?
Because he tries to get fancy and move shit through people's
legs.
Fancy.
I like the fancy.
But it's been working for him. And now that he's centering that 70s line with Pearson and Toffoli, like he has a lot of weapons. And, this kid's got, I think, 16 points.
Yeah,
16 points in 20 games. So, he's doing what Carter could be doing for us now. So when Carter does come back sometime in January, February from that leg injury, I don't know how they'll mess with the lines again, but that now there's even more depth down the middle.
Yes.
When you have someone that is showing us he can be reliable like Kempe has.
Is Carter's Instagram game going to get better now, his Twitter, Instagram game? Because he's kind of been, the other Kings players are really good on social media. He needs to kind of pick that up a little bit. Would this be the time where he picked that up?
He can pick that up because he has more time to do stuff.
Yeah. I want to see more out of Carter during this layoff here.
I just don't want to see a million dog pictures.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Really?
I'm fine with it. I like all the King's dogs.
I don't mind their dogs,
I like all
but
that.
Just overwhelming me with constant pictures of you and your little puppy inside the little man bags that he has. I'm just kind of like,
You're not into that?
Show me some pictures of you at the tailor.
He does, yeah.
So that's what he should be doing right now.
Dressing
that he's
nicely?
Out, as dressing the team.
Oh, getting the whole team stylized.
Yes, because every night at Staples they do the best dressed, and they'll bring out three different 3 different images or 3 different videos of 3 different Kings, and they'll make the stadium vote on who was best dressed.
Sure.
And naturally, Carter's always like, guys, just excuse me from that. I don't want to win every night.
He's gonna win every time.
So they then put 3 random Kings up there, and people pick. So he should just give them tailoring contacts and hook them up. And we were talking with Alex.
Yeah.
Alex was like, I need to set my
Alex
suit game
Faust?
out. Yeah,
Alex Faust,
yeah. He needs to set his game suit up. So we just walk up to Jeff Carter after a game.
What can you do for me?
Exactly.
Who's your tailor?
Exactly.
All right. So good. The Kings are looking good right now. We've had a little struggle over the last, couple weeks, but you're going to go through that. And going, I don't blame them really, even in Vegas. I was the first time in Vegas. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. They came out on their heels a little bit. Quick wasn't seemingly ready for the game to start.
Let's be honest here. Las Vegas has surprised everybody.
They look
This
good.
is an expansion team, okay? An expansion team is
Normally
supposed to have
horrible.
garbage nothing points, right? This time into a season, you'd be like, oh, they're probably going to have 8, 10 points.
But they were 2 points behind the
They're
Kings,
1
right?
point back
1
of the Kings. They got 25 points.
Yeah.
This team is really well built, and the fact that
McNabb's looking good
the
for
Las
them,
Vegas
too.
Knights
They have
now
McNabb.
played 7 different goalies because of injuries is crazy, considering that they're still there. They're the 5th best team in the West, 2nd in the Pacific, and they've gone through 5-6 goalies.
And McNabb's looking good. He looked good against the Kings. I think he was trying a little harder.
I have a theory as to why Las Vegas is doing so well, though.
It's all Kings fans?
No. Las Vegas is doing so well, in my theory, because this is a team that is not part of a dual expansion.
It's only this single.
It's only this one team. So this one team acquired a bunch of players from other teams, and it's kind of like they have an inside track to other teams. Plus, they picked up a lot of veteran players. A lot of people, these are NHL players. They're still amongst the best in the world, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to expect them to be like some, first-year college football program. So they're a well-coached team. They have good goaltending all the way through their 6th backup goalie. And I think because they're gelling together, and really there's no pressure on them because there's no expectations. No one's like, well, Las Vegas better make the playoffs this year. They're going to disband the franchise.
Yeah.
I think they're performing a lot better than anybody thought they would. And at 25 points, 20 games into the season, that's fantastic.
And they have a lot of fans coming out. They were loud in that stadium against the Kings.
No,
there was a lot of go Kings,
and
go,
like
go
Alex
Knights,
said,
go.
they had sold 10,000 season seats in a 22. No, not 22. I believe T-Mobile is an 18,000 seat stadium. So they sold 60% of their season seats to individuals, not including what MGM purchased and various corporations. So the people of Las Vegas are there to support their team, but like you had told me prior to us rolling, it was go Kings, go, go Knights, go. It was going back and forth, and that's fantastic.
When are you going to a game out there?
I wanted to go on Sunday, but I couldn't.
But do you have to go to a Kings
It
Knights
doesn't have
game?
to be a Kings game. I mean,
because you go to Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
I do. You're single. I don't go to Vegas anymore because I'm married and I have 2 kids.
That doesn't mean anything.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm trying to put some kids through college. I can't go to Vegas.
You don't have to go gamble away their college fund.
Oh, I would.
But you're not supposed to. 1-800-GAMBLER.
One year. No, I'm not even bad. 1 year, I thought my clutch went out in Vegas. I was out in Vegas. My clutch went out in my car, and I thought I was going to be able to replace my clutch through gambling. And so basically, I lost the equivalent of 2 clutches.
That's
it was
terrible.
Bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, I don't drive to Vegas. I just fly. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, that would have been. I wish I would have done
Significantly
that. I wish
easier.
I would have done that.
But I'm sticking to my predictions. Kings make the playoffs. Kings win the cup.
Well, why wouldn't the Kings make the play? They're going to make the playoffs this year.
And they're going to win the cup.
Okay.
Edmonton, like Alex thought would be so amazing, are actually in last place.
Right now.
Second to last,
Right
because
now.
Arizona's in the cellar.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Rams. So the Rams are, look, 7-3. As much as Dave wants to, knock on the Rams. He hasn't even watched one game. I don't think.
Dave's
he
a
says he
hater.
watches a game.
Our social media coordinator, Dave, as you guys know, is a Patriots fan.
Technical director,
He rocks
social-
a hoodie all the time. It's 120 degrees in the middle of the summer. Dave's wearing a hoodie with the cutoff sleeves.
Get the Belichick hoodie with the cutoff sleeves.
Dave, it's going to be Rams, Patriots in the Super Bowl. We're avenging that 2001 loss. Okay. Avenging it. Where's the Super Bowl this year?
It's in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, on a dome. Greatest show on turf, even though we got our asses handed to us by Minnesota this last Sunday. On turf.
Yeah, let's talk. So the Rams are 7-3, first place in the NFC West. They're 1 game ahead of Seattle. Seattle is right behind them though, and of course they won that close game a few weeks ago. So Seattle would have the tiebreak.
Seattle has a tiebreaker at the
if
moment.
we end up tied, and that's fine. I think both teams are going to be in the playoffs. Actually, I think both teams are good. The Rams top 5 defense. So I mean, right there alone, you're a playoff team if you're top 5 defense. It's just going to happen.
That's not true because we were a top 5 defense last year.
But
the Rams are experiencing what the Kings are experiencing. It's suddenly they're scoring.
Yeah, we're top 2 offense.
Yeah, and
so.
here's the weird thing about that statistic. The Rams score more points than any other team in the league per game, but have the second most amount of points behind the Eagles. I don't know how the math works there.
Yeah, the Eagles are pretty good, too. I'm not going to count them out as a Super Bowl favorite
Well,
right
if
now.
you look at all 4 NFC leaders, none of those teams were in the playoffs last year.
Let's talk a little bit about, so the Rams receiving crew is really what stepped up. Gurley's obviously, there's a balance now on offense because Gurley's running well again, so this is great. And then we've got this receiving crew, a bunch of young guys mixed with a couple veterans, but we got Woods, we got Kupp. We've got this receiving crew that's really been fantastic. Goff has been putting the ball right in the perfect positions.
And that's what happens when you have the right coach. This
Yes.
year, Jared Goff looks like the number 1 overall draft pick.
He's also more comfortable, though,
Well,
now.
he's more comfortable, and it helps Gurley a lot because last year the Rams are very one-dimensional. We're going to short pass, go into the flat. We're going to run it on third down. We're going to punt on fourth.
Yeah.
That's what the Rams were doing last year. So every defense played us inside the box because they knew we were going to throw short and we knew we were going to run the ball with Gurley. So we were atrocious on the offensive side last year.
Yeah.
This year, because they're letting Goff throw downfield, they're letting Goff throw the ball further than 5, 6, 7 yards.
Yeah.
It's spreading out the defense. It's allowing Gurley to get through the gaps, be more patient. He's not getting destroyed by having 9, 10 guys in the box. And like you said, our receiving core is there.
Well, that's why he can throw downfield. Last year, we had no one to throw downfield to. Nobody could catch the fucking ball last year. Now we got people that actually hold on to the ball, except for in the Vikings game. Kupp dropped the one on the, well, he got stripped right on the line going in for the touchdown.
You know, and I give all the credit in the world to the Vikings in that game because they beat us. We didn't go into that game and make mistake after mistake
No, we
after
didn't play
mistake
horribly.
and penalty after penalty. You know, Goff didn't go out there and throw 4
He
interceptions.
was playing well.
I mean, it was a really good well coached game by both sides of the ball. Unfortunately, we had that fumble at the goal line. But I mean, I tip my hat to Minnesota because Minnesota was like their defense showed up and shut us down. And
it's loud in that stadium, too. I think they have some acoustic things going on in there because it seems
the Atlanta
way
Falcons
louder.
got caught doing that last year.
I think the Vikings are doing that because it seems way louder than it normally is in a stadium. I was like, I'm watching on TV and I'm like, that's loud. Like, how is it that loud? And I'm on TV. So the attendance is up for the Rams. When we play at home, what's going on there? I mean, we see, you look and it kind of looks embarrassing because you'll see a lot of empty seats.
Well,
But
here's the problem that, and fans, you hear us talk about this with the Dodgers all the time. Dodgers have the largest baseball-only stadium in North America. So when out-of-state, out-of-city announcers are like, oh, well, the Dodgers can't fill their stadium, blah, blah, blah. Our average attendance is higher than people's sellouts. So last year, the Rams had the highest attendance for a new city since 1993. They were doing like 92,000 a year, which is on par with, per game, which is on par with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And the Dallas Cowboys this year and just about every year lead the league in attendance. This year, when the season started, they dropped off significantly, like 30,000 per home game. And there's like, hey, that's going to be the worst drop-off since like the 96 Bucks and blah, blah, blah. But you have to take into consideration that 93 to 63 still puts us in the top 15, still sellouts everywhere else. And now that the Rams are winning again, we're in the top 10 for home attendance at, I believe, 73,000 average. And we're in the top, we are the 6th best overall attendance team across the league because apparently our presence in other stadiums boosts their attendance as well.
Oh.
But again, we are, well, not just us, everybody is trailing the Dallas Cowboys by a mile in terms of attendance both at home and on the road.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of people that the Dallas Cowboys bring in.
Yeah, I mean, as we get towards the end of the year, I'm going to say that, we get into December and it's really looking clear that the Rams are going to be in the playoffs.
Rams are going to be in the playoffs.
Even though Dave doesn't think so. What are they going to have to, they'd have to lose like 6 of the final games to.
What?
All right, they could.
Listen,
they do play the Saints coming up.
pundits-
They play the Eagles.
The pundits, the experts said that the Rams would be 4-12 this year and be either last or second to last.
That was Dave.
West
He was one of those
with
experts.
The Arizona Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Rams were 50-1 to win the NFC West this year. They're now 2-1.
Man.
Still not the favorites though because Seattle's the favorite even though they're 6-3 at 1-2. So Seattle's minus 150, I believe, and. Like you just said earlier, Seattle beat us in that head-to-head game, so they currently have the advantage head-to-head. They have an easier schedule than we do going into the last 6 games of the season.
Yeah.
But, now the pundits are like, oh, the Rams could be 10-6. And really, I think the Rams could win 11, 12 games.
I think we'll get
none of this 7-9 bullshit.
I think for sure we're going to get to 11 games. I think looking at the schedule, I think we're going to get to 11. So I think they're going to win 4 more.
Because we still got the 49ers one more time, right?
Yeah.
We got the Cardinals one more time.
Yeah.
We got Seattle in Seattle this next time.
Tough.
We got to play the Saints, the Eagles, and who else do we have?
I can't remember. Yeah, but that's covers.
But it doesn't matter because we're going to beat that team too.
Okay, good. All right, let's talk a little Lakers. So Lakers have been, look, compared to last year, we're a lot better. I mean, they're at 7-10 right now. We're better than the Clippers, which is fantastic. That's really kind of what we care about right now.
That's
that we're better
the
than
moral
the Clippers.
victory that Los Angelinos are living on.
We're 10th in the West, so we're a couple games out of a playoff spot, and I don't think any Laker fan is expecting playoffs. But I think we're going to be knocking on the door. This team's going to go through a rough stretch here where we're going to have a bunch of games on the road, and we're going to be a below 500 team. There's no doubt about that. They are not going to be winning 41, 42, 43 games. It's not going to happen this year. Maybe next year we're going to get over 40, maybe over 50. But this year they're going to be in the 30s.
Well, on pace for 30 right now. Like
we're on
30
pace,
on the dot.
We're on pace for 30. I think we're going to get a little higher than that. Look, Lonzo Ball is kind of what a lot of people expected Lonzo Ball to be. He's inconsistent. He has flashes of brilliance. Some nights it's like, wow, that was amazing.
Youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double.
Doesn't matter so much.
It doesn't, but it's just like he's very Jekyll and Hyde. And unfortunately for him, if he were any other rookie, even if he was the number 1 overall pick, if he were any other rookie that was not somehow associated with the Ball family, people would be like growing pains. He's got flashes of brilliance. He'll pick it up, this and that. Instead, it's like, he's a bust. And it's like, we're 20 games into the season. Relax.
Yeah, anybody that's calling Lonzo a bust at this point, that's ridiculous.
We're 20 games into the season.
He's a rookie. I mean, he's going to go through these growing pains. First of all, he's already played almost more games right now than UCLA plays in a season. And we're not even midway through the season. So, I mean, the schedule is going to get harder on him. They're going to go through stretches where they play Golden State twice, where they play Houston. They're going to get killed.
Also, being targeted. This guy has a huge target on his back.
He does.
And more so than the number 1 overall pick. Because it doesn't help that his dad always runs his mouth, but his dad's the hype guy. So you have players in other teams who are like, oh, really? All right, I'm gonna hand check you now. I'm gonna push you a little harder now. I'm gonna this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say other players and other teams are cheap shotting him because they're not cheap shotting him, but they're being significantly more physical with him. Than other players.
He's definitely got a target, and he's got to deal with that, and that's just part of what comes with being.
But that just shows how mature he's being because we're 20 games into the season. I've yet to see him lose his cool and throw a mouthpiece or throw a punch or shove somebody. He gets like disrespected in a physical manner where like they literally smack him. He'll just kind of like look to the side as people like approach him and bump him in the chest because he doesn't want to get into an altercation.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. There was the altercation a couple games ago, and he walked off the court, and everybody else that was on the court went towards the altercation.
That's a double-edged sword because 100% you need to back up your teammates.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But as we know in the NBA, if you're involved in any altercation, you're automatically kicked out of that game. You're automatically suspended. So for him being, how old is he, 19? Yeah. For him being 19 years old and having the presence of mind to not get heated and not throw a punch and just more like, oh, this is happening. Because he said it after the game. They asked him, why'd you walk away? And there was a fight. And he said, listen, we're in the NBA. These guys aren't going to throw punches at each other. They're not really fighting.
Yeah.
And he was right.
But you still have to go over and have a show of support.
Right, because it looks bad.
Yeah.
And
even though his team,
to Walton, the players had spoken to him about it. But would I rather have Lonzo step away, not get suspended, not possibly throw hands and end up in Chinese jail like his brother, or
he
walk away?
Listen, his brother wasn't in jail. He was in his hotel room.
Chinese jail.
Okay, that's Chinese jail?
Chinese jail.
Okay, all right.
For stealing.
You're excited about the LeVar Ball Trump feud.
Oh, I love it. It's going to be great. During the holidays, especially during the holidays, where, again, you're being bombarded by your family about stupid questions. You just go on to good old Twitter, and then you got LeVar versus Trump.
It's just bring that up.
It's just, boom, magic.
I can guarantee we won't be bringing that up at the Stage Family Thanksgiving party. That won't happen.
What?
I don't think anybody needs to talk about that, but it is funny. It is kind of funny.
I think it's good television.
You kind of saw that coming. It seemed like these two dudes at some point were going to cross paths. I think it just...
But I never thought it'd be against each other.
You thought they'd be with each other.
Yeah.
It'd be like they'd be on each other's side.
I thought they would be like backing each other up.
Oh, no. LeVar was like, F you to Trump. I mean,
because I don't know the situation. I know the 3 basketball players from UCLA, including his younger brother. got caught stealing, were held captive by the Chinese government and said, hey, you can't leave.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone talked to somebody who knows somebody who said, okay, guys, slap on the wrist, don't do it again. And they let them board a plane and come back to the United States.
And Trump took credit for it.
Right. So I guess at that point.
Which may or may not be true, but he says it's true.
That's where LeVar was like, hey, you didn't do anything for my kids, and then the thing exploded. But, I mean, they're lucky because there's a lot of people that get caught in foreign countries doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and the government and our embassy does jack shit for them. So he's lucky that he's got a name attached to his family, and that these are 3 players. They go to a very, very, very prestigious college.
Yeah, well, they're suspended.
And they happen to be athletes, because I bet you if it was a journalist from UCLA that got like trapped in North Korea or in China, they'd be like, oh, sorry. Yeah. And Bill Clinton would say something like, well, we're going to get them out, and they'd probably still be there. Yeah, Bill Clinton negotiated the last couple of North Korean.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what he does.
Didn't know that. That's what he spends his time
doing. He
doing.
hung out with Kim Jong-un, and he's like,
Bill Clinton?
He's like, yo, little Kim, I can introduce you to some ladies.
I don't think that was happening.
Yeah, he offered to introduce him to some ladies, so then those journalists were released.
Do not think that was happening. I want to talk one last thing about the Lakers is Kyle Kuzma. This kid, I feel like, is in the top, in the conversation, for Rookie of the Year. Simmons with Philadelphia is obviously playing great right now. There's a few other players that are really doing well, but Kyle Kuzma, this kid, he can shoot really well. He plays defense. He gets back, where he needs to. He knows where he needs to be on the floor. He really he's explosive to the hoop. He's a really, really good player, and he's right now way above and beyond better than Lonzo Ball. And it was just an amazing pickup. This was a great draft pick. It was a steal. I think they got him at 26.
Do you think Kuzma is performing so well, not because he's not talented or...
It was 4 years in college.
Right. I mean, he's older. He has more experience collegiately. But it's not necessarily that he's performing so much better because he's so much better talently. But is it because there's zero pressure on him because the other rookie on the team has the microscope?
I think that's part of it. And I also think that Kuzma is just a good shooter. So he doesn't have to...
Because Lonzo's not a very good shooter.
Lonzo is not a good shooter. So Kuzma can rely on his shot going down, whereas Lonzo cannot rely on a shot going down. So Kuzma's been exciting. He's fun to watch. Like, I'm tuning in to see Ingram and Kuzma now. And if Lonzo Ball has a great game...
He's getting a lot of playing time. He's averaging 31 minutes a night.
He's starting.
Yeah, 17 points a night, 31 minutes a night. Like, the guy's got a lot of playing time.
And Julius Randle coming off the bench is fantastic. So
I'll ask you the question I ask you now that I ask you every year since we started this show.
Yes.
Where do you see the Lakers in 5 years?
I see them with...
Because 3 years ago when we started the show, we said that 5 years from 3 years ago, which is 2 years from now, they would be legitimately Western Conference contenders.
I'm still in that.
You're still in that?
I'm still in
that.
So
2 years from now, you expect them in the finals?
Yes.
Western Conference finals?
Yes, at least.
Well, this year, LeVar says that the Lakers will be making the playoffs.
Okay, that's not happening. But
we're 1 game back of the 8th spot.
Okay, great. But still, we're going to go through a stretch where we're playing some tough teams. We haven't had a tough schedule yet, so it's going to get bad here pretty soon. They're going to lose like 7 out of 10 here coming up. So
over under 35 wins for the Lakers.
They're going to be
over under 32 wins for the Lakers. Over 32?
I think they're going to be at 34.
34.
Just looking at the schedule.
They're on pace for 30. They're on pace for 30.
I kind of mapped it out on the schedule. I think we're going to get a couple upsets here and there, but I think we're right at 34. Which is a big upgrade from the last 3 seasons.
Weren't we doing like 25 or something?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway. All right, what's our gift of the day?
Guys, our gift of the day, this is a fight breaking out amongst the Lakers where Lonzo Ball, this is what we were talking about earlier, Lonzo Ball was like, oh, there's a fight going on? Nah, I'm good. And he walked away. I mean, what do you, again, I side with Lonzo in the sense that he was smart and mature enough to just walk away because he knows that he's under a microscope.
I can go either way, but I say you support your team.
In what fashion?
Throw punches.
Throw punches? No. I mean, if Lonzo turned around and kind of like grabbed one of his own teammates and was like, hey, bro, calm down.
Perfect.
I would be okay with that.
Or you just get in there.
But if he's in there pushing and shoving, I'd be like...
Even if you just walk that way. He just turned around and walked.
He did beeline it to the other way.
He just was kind of like... And he was the only one. Everyone else went this way and he went that way.
Hey, remember, NBA. He was in the game.
Whatever.
But NBA, you throw a punch... automatically ejected, suspended. You get off the bench if you're not in the game, automatically ejected, suspended.
He wasn't going to throw a punch. I'm just saying walk that way. Just walk that way. Just even look that way. He didn't even look that way. I say just even look over there. He didn't look. He just turned around and walked. He didn't even care what was going on. You can't do that.
Want to get hurt.
You can't do that.
If he throws those hands, people are going to die.
What if a hockey player did that?
It's different. Hockey. In hockey, if you fight, you go sit down for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the difference. In the NBA, you fight, you're out for 2 games, 3 games, depending on the amount of damage you did and whether or not fans got involved.
Well, hockey players don't mind if their teeth get knocked out either.
You know, I've always wondered why hockey players just don't wear mouthpieces. Like, oh, so you can't talk. You can
I
talk
think
with
they
the mouthpiece.
like their teeth getting knocked out.
I don't
It
know.
hurts.
No, thanks. But guys, that's been our show. Don't forget to stalk us on Twitter at Best Coast Show. You can see all the behind-the-scenes stuff on the Instagram, also at Best Coast Show. You can follow us on the iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, really where podcasts are heard. That way you can take a break from your family while they're harassing you this week. But have fun, be safe. That's been our show, and you guys have a good night.